Hello and welcome to the National Debate. I'm Madhavdas GK. The buzzword in Indian politics today appears to be Gen Z. Over the last few weeks, we've witnessed how the youth across the country united to protest against the government, which led to huge ramifications and ultimately the resignation of India's education minister. It's clear, Gen Z's mood is now slowly beginning to dictate politics in the country. Earlier this week, we saw the RSS chief speak to Gen Z community in a first-of-its-kind interaction. The Prime Minister is also leading the government's outreach to the youth via Instagram. On the other hand, Rahul Gandhi has also keenly been raising the issues of the youth. By 2029, Gen Z is expected to become the biggest voting bloc in the country, which is why all sides are attempting to woo this segment. We saw the template play out in Tamil Nadu, for instance, where Vijay's 2-year-old party managed to end the 50-year-old dominance of the Dravidian parties, owing to overwhelming support from the Gen Z. So who will the Gen Z back in 2029 and who's really hearing the Gen Z's Man Ki Baat? Let's quickly first establish this issue and what exactly we've seen over the last few days and try and explain to you what we are looking at, particularly beginning with Mohan Bhagwat's attempt at connecting with Gen Z. This is what the RSS chief's message was to the youth. The first, Gen Z is not anti-national, quite different from what's being stated by several ruling party members. Takeaway 2, protest is a way of dialogue. Very important, highlighting the importance of dialogue. LGBTQ plus community, part of society. Takeaway number 3. Takeaway 4, law can be made for companionship for the previous category as well. Takeaway 5, back 6% budget for education demand. Very, very important because the national outlay for budget, especially as far as education is concerned, has been slipping. Let's quickly bring in the next talking point as well. As far as Mohan Bhagwat is concerned, should not politicize reservation. Another very important message coming in from Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief. Let's take a look at what has been stated by the Congress. It has been gunning for the BJP. It has said that you assaulted the youth and misbehaved with them. Second line of attack. It's now out of hand and you're trying to control them. This is in response to what's been stated by Mohan Bhagwat. Bhagwat atoning for allegations made by BJP and RSS. He's also said that this is the impact of bypolls in Bankipur and Datia that we've recently seen, where of the 3 bypolls, 2 of those elections the BJP had lost. This is, of course, a statement coming in. But what has opposition been talking about? The opposition has been talking about these statements that have come in from the BJP. Nitin Nabin, for instance, BJP chief, quoted as saying new virus and cockroach-like parties are emerging. One of the statements that he has made, Atul Limai, an RSS leader who has come in recent days to say that CJP protest is anti-national, decode the chronology. There's also statements such as T.G. Mohandas, right-wing ideologue from Kerala, who said would have shot protesters at Jantar Mantar. RSS, of course, later distancing from this comment as well. Now, these are some of the controversial points that have been made. Why is this outreach so important? Now, this is what Abhijit Dipke, CJP founder, has come out to say. He's taken a swipe at the BJP, saying BJP leaders targeted the protesters. He's also gone on to say that Bhagwat should talk to the BJP first. He's also added that BJP has called students as anti-nationals, highlighting the comments that we were just talking about. Pradhan and Nabin targeted the protesters, is what Abhijit Dipke says. Will BJP go against Bhagwat now? That's the question that CJP is raising. He's also said that the BJP chief called CJP protesters virus, the quote that we just mentioned, and hope BJP netas listen to the Sangh chief. Let's introduce our panelists here in our studio. We have Siddharth Yadav, national spokesperson of BJP. With us is Mitravinda Karanwal, who's a state joint secretary of ABVP and secretary of DUSU 2024-2025. Dr. Nishant Anand, the spokesperson of the Congress Party. Vaibhav Srivastava is spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party. Vivek Srivastava is political analyst, leans towards the left, of course. And Alok Kataria, former executive councillor of the Delhi University, is also with us here in the studio. So a largely Gen Z panel that we have, but let me start with you first. Siddharth Yadav, what Mohan Bhagwat has said is directly contradictory to the kind of noises that we were hearing over the last few days. He has contradicted, he has said, emphasized on the importance of dialogue, said that protest is a form of dialogue, and he said that you certainly can't call this segment as being anti-national, and those are the kind of statements that we were hearing over the last few days. Siddharth.
Good evening, Madhav. Good evening to all your viewers. Madhav, I don't think that there's any contradiction in what Mohan Bhagwatji has said to anybody who was making this statement earlier from the Bharatiya Janata Party. I would want to state this very clearly.
Mr. Nitin Nabin and Mr. Limai, we just read out.
I'm just coming to that.
Cockroaches,
so what is
anti-national?
Yes, so, I'm coming to that. You need not be that eager. What is Mohan Bhagwat ji saying? Mohan Bhagwat ji is saying that protest is a dialogue. The government engaged in a dialogue. The government approached the protesters, sat down with the protesters, resolved the protest. That's how a dialogue works in a democracy. What is he saying? That Gen Zs are our pride. It's a very national, it's a generation which thinks about the nation. That's what the BJP feels. And we have been saying from day one. But if you come out and say that one outfit or one political, pressure group or a political new outfit or someone backed by a political ideology represents the entire of Gen Z in this country, I don't think that's the case. We always said a democratic protest has a right in our democracy. After all, Madhav, we are a party which has arisen from various protests. We were the ones protesting for our constitution in the emergency against the Congress. How can we say that protests are not allowed? But when we make a difference in what a protest can be and how it should be, and when we say that vulgar language is not the language of Gen Zs, or when we say that violence is not the language of Gen Zs, or when we say the people who are resorting to such means is not Gen Z, I have a right to say that. If I call a spade, you can't hold me to that.
We'll discuss the violence and the vulgar language in just a bit, but the points that you were making, you are saying now that we believe in dialogue. For 3 weeks, you didn't engage with CGP. You allowed the protest to fester. Had you engaged in dialogue, perhaps you don't have come to this.
And so, Madhav?
So it led to a situation where there was mobilization, where there was a Sansad Chalo march, because the government did not engage in dialogue.
We can't have two things in democracy. We can't have that, no, I want to have a permission to protest, but as I sit on protest, come and talk to me on day one. I have been a student protester myself. For 10 years, I was a student activist. Sat outside Arvind Kejriwal's house for 20 days. Nobody came. So what?
So the point
Nobody
is the demand.
came.
No. The legitimacy of the demand. So that the other
right.
It is a democratic. Of course it is.
It's a democratic right to protest.
Of course
the government
it is.
Facilitated that
and
protest.
what Mr. Mohan Bhagwat is saying is that there needs to be a dialogue. There was clearly no dialogue or attempt to. After 3 weeks, that is the point I'm making. If your government had acted earlier, perhaps you would have prevented a situation from coming to such a.
That's what I'm asking you. Should the dialogue happen on the day one when protesters are
But it certainly cannot happen on day one.
Why was the lathi was charged? Why was the pellet gun was fired? Why was the AK-47
Ultimately, the government had to give in. The government has allowed for the resignation of the education minister.
And that's how democracy works, Madhav.
The point being made here is, did we need such a mobilization? Did we need to call a Parliament Chalo March? But Nishant Anand, the government engaged in dialogue. There is no contradiction in what Mohan Bhagwat said and what the BJP government did. Respond to it.
See, I will tell why was the pellet guns were fired, why was the lathi charge was done. Till today, there are 7 people who are in ICU. There is one guy who has been pellet gun shot. He has lost his one eye. Point number 2, why was the AK-47 was charged? Who gave the permission? Till today, the Home Minister is absent. It's been 15 days. He is not coming to the Parliament. The same way, the Amit Shah is coming to the Sansad, but he's not coming to the parliaments. Everybody, opposition, all the leaders has been asking who gave these orders. See, first of all, I want the viewers to understand what is an RSS. RSS is an organization which does not have any registration, no bank account, no membership. The same like a D company, please don't interject. The same like a D company who we don't know where it exists. Point number 2.
I have objections to this, Madhav.
Call themselves as a protectors.
I have objections to this.
They call themselves as a protectors.
What do you mean?
Let me complete first. Let me complete. See, I did not interrupt you.
I have objection to the statement that you are making.
Okay, he's saying why you say RSS. One second. You can't make defamatory statements. One minute. Just a second. Nishant, you have to qualify your statements also. Just as I asked him to qualify his statement, why are you saying it's a D company? RSS runs over 30,000 schools in the country. Can they run so many schools without a bank account?
Let me answer. Where every shopkeeper, every citizen has to file an income tax. Every citizen, every temple, every god has to answer about the donation which has been received. There is only RSS who does not have any bank account, no company, nothing is in.
You can have a debate on RSS.
It is RSS is
you can respond to him. You respond to him.
Make him understand how they operate.
One by one. You can respond to him. Okay.
Please. See, now I'll come back to...
No, you raised the question of RSS and his donation. Quickly respond to him.
Because Madhav, I have objections to this. If Congress party doesn't understand how RSS works, you organize a show, 1-hour show. I'll make Congress party understand how RSS functions. So RSS is the organization which is running...
What are they hiding? Where are they hiding? Where is the money
coming from? Now why you objecting? If you don't understand the concept, if you don't understand the concept of how Seva Bharati is working, how India...
One by one. one by one. May I ask you a question? May I ask you? No. One second. Let's not get into security. One second. Let's go one by one. If we start jumping across issues, we will not be able to have any debate. But may I ask you a simple question? There are many states in which Congress party is in power. Many states in which opposition parties who are opposed to BJP and RSS are in power. Not in one of those states is RSS banned. Mr. Priyank Kharge, who talks very openly about RSS, when he was asked a similar question about why they don't ban, if they're not following the law of the land, why don't they take legal action? They can file a case. But there is no legal action taken against RSS.
See, we've been clearly saying from years that RSS is the organization for 52 years. They did not hoist the national flag.
And first, to answer the question of funding.
Give me 20 seconds.
And I'm asking you on funding, you're going to national flag. This is a question. One second. Mohan Bhagwat is a subject. I think this is legitimate. Let's go one by one.
Said that why don't you get register and throw the paper on our face that you are a
How dare you to ban RSS?
which is not They call them as a protection of Hinduism.
Forget banning. You can take legal action
on our money.
Sir, your government is there. You can take legal action. If they're not following the law of the land, if they're violating financial law, why can't you take legal action?
Why are they running this organization without any documentation, without any registration?
Okay, you have not answered the question.
सेवा भारती कैसे काम कर रहे हैं नहीं समझ में आता है
The Gen Z,
विद्या भारती कैसे काम कर रहे हैं नहीं समझ में आता है अखिल भारतीय विद्यार्थी परिषद कैसे काम कर रहे हैं नहीं समझ में आता है
अरे भाई कौन सी कंपनी है?
Calm down.
स्टूडेंट्स पर बोलिए Why do you fear RSS?
All right.
Why do you fear RSS so much? क्या
तुम लोग आए हो?
RSS पे बहस
Okay,
करोगे?
let's open this up. I believe we have with us also from, let's get the younger voices in first. We have Mitra Vinda Karanwal, State Joint Secretary of ABVP. Mitra Vinda, let me ask you a simple question. The question that many are asking is that has the kind of approach that has been taken, or at least these protests, how is this going to impact legally, politically speaking, as far as our landscape is concerned, and the direction that Mohan Bhagwat has given? Do you feel that it was different, or it's a message also for the party and for the centre? BJP and the centre?
No, whether it's ABVP, whether it's RSS or any other entity, we have been clear from day one. Gen Z are students. Students are genuine. Gen Z is genuine. What we do criticize, whom we do criticize is the leadership of CJP. They are being the stakeholders of Gen Z and they're letting anti-national forces onto the platform. They're letting them hijack a protest that is supposed to be there for students. The concern, the issue of that protest has been genuine from day one. ABVP has been there for NEET, ABVP has been there protesting against NTF since day one. We have been the ones who demanded CBI probe we were the first organization who demanded CBI probe. So we are there for the issue, but we will not be justifying anti-national activities that took place on that platform. The platform that CJP allowed to be handed over to political babas and political entities. They have cheated Gen Z. They have cheated the students who came to Jantar Mantar to protest for their rights. They have turned that protest into a political movement. They have...
No, but they are saying that there were anti-national elements that may have come in there. They could not control the crowd. They have not done anything.
And
it is others who have come in there.
is that? Whose responsibility is that? They are the ones who's being the stakeholders. They are the ones who's leading the protest. And when violence happens, they take away the accountability. They are like, we are not accountable. How can they not be accountable?
Is it realistic to expect student organizations or youngsters like this to be able to actually do crowd control in a situation like this?
Yes, I have been involved in protests myself. I have been the secretary of Delhi University Students' Union. I don't think anyone in this panel has been currently involved in student activism besides me and Alok. So we are there protesting in campuses. If anything happens, if anything illegal activity happens, if violence takes out, who is going to be responsible for it? ABVP and NSY would be responsible for it.
Let me take that question across. Alok Kataria, how do you respond to her? She says that the student organizers or whoever the organizers, CJP, should have been mindful that anti-national elements don't come in there. We saw the crowds there. We saw the police there. Do you think that the organizers can squarely be held responsible if anti-social, anti-national, criminal, whatever you choose to call them elements, end up in that crowd? Your response to her?
I have a question for AEP. सबसे पहले जो देश का सबसे बड़ा छात्र आंदोलन हो रहा था, AEP अपने आप को विश्व का सबसे बड़ा स्वघोषित छात्र संगठन बताती है, तो वो उनसे दूर क्यों थे? जब छात्रों को, जो छात्र पीड़ा में थे, उन पर लाठियां बरसाई जा रही थी, उनका बर्बरता हो रही थी, उन पर लाठी चार्ज हो रही थी, उन पर पैलेट गन से हमले हो रहे थे, तो तब AEP कहाँ थी? तब AEP छात्रों के साथ क्यों नहीं खड़ी थी? जब जो लोग छात्रों को वहां पर देशद्रोही बता रहे थे, तो तब एपी उनका साथ क्यों दे रही थी? और वहां पर जो
No
एपी
one
के
was
लोग जा
calling
रहे
the
थे,
protesters anti-national. We have to be very clear about it.
सबने कहा एपी के बहुत लोगों ने, तो एबीपी अगर प्रोटेस्टर को एंटी नेशनल नहीं बता रही तो आप उस प्रोटेस्ट से दूर क्यों थे? आप वहां पर क्यों नहीं गए छात्रों के साथ? आप वहां पर खड़े क्यों नहीं, उनके साथ स्टैंड क्यों नहीं लिया अपने छात्रों का? एक तो ये सवाल है। दूसरा सवाल, जब अब इनके जो आरएसएस का पार्ट है एबीपी, जब इनके मुखिया की आंख खुल गई, अब उन्होंने बताया कि भाई हम इनका समर्थन करते हैं, बच्चे वहां पर एंटी नेशनल जो प्रोटेस्टर थे वो एंटी नेशनल नहीं थे, उनसे बात करनी चाहिए थी, तो वहां पर इन्होंने बात बच्चों से क्यों नहीं की? बच्चे क्या चाहते थे? वो एक दो सवाल कर रहे थे कि बार बार पेपर लीक क्यों हो रहे हैं, वो अकाउंटेबिलिटी किसकी है, हमारी सुरक्षा की, हमारी पढ़ाई सस्ती क्यों नहीं है, हमारे भविष्य की सुरक्षा की जिम्मेदारी कौन लेगा? लेकिन उनको पैलेट गन, उनको बदले में क्या मिला? पैलेट गन मिली। Pellet guns.
Let me now introduce, joining us here in the studio is Dr. Aditi Narayani Paswan, who's the Associate Professor of the Ambedkar International Center. This is the question that is being asked. In fact, before you joined us, we were discussing the statements that have been made by Mohan Bhagwat, which we just read out. The question is that Mohan Bhagwat, with these statements, when he comes out to say Andolan is a form of dialogue, where he says that Gen Z's grievances are genuine and calls for dialogue instead of confrontation, has he somewhere given a direction to the political leadership, whether at the center or at the party level? How are you looking at it?
See, when it is coming from an ideologue like him, it's more like he is referring to the Gen Z, about how Gen Z is responsible for bringing about a social change, and how the protest was also a form of dialogue, which is still instills the fact that the democracy in our country is very much alive. And it is not referring to it, we cannot put it in any sort of political spectrum. We need to understand the whole protest from a sociological point of view, that they are demanding from accountability from the institutions. To put it in compartments of whether this was supported by certain sections, it was not supported by certain sections, we are again forgetting the epicenter of the protest. Why was this happening? So in this statement, what he's trying to say, he's trying to awaken the consciousness of the Gen Z, which is already awakened. Because
Gen Z is already awakened. It is like Bhagwat is awakening and coming back to the reality of what Gen Z protests are about.
Of course, that's what I'm telling you, because Gen Z is already very awakened. They ask questions. They believe in dialogue. So it is a time that an ideologue like him is coming on the podium and addressing and talking to the people, talking to the Gen Z people, that, the country is ready for the accountability. The country is ready for the kind of constructive dialogue they're looking forward to.
Yeah, but my question that I have to ask you is this, that, and I'll of course getting a response from this side as well. The question is that, this is in contrast to what has been stated. Yes, we saw dialogue. Yes, we saw the CJP leadership talking to the government, and we were just debating that a short while earlier. But when he says that if I'm going to trust one particular segment the most amongst all segments is the Gen Z. So is it, when he makes such blanket statements, is there a realization that somewhere this Gen Z segment could be slipping away in terms of support either ideologically or to the existing regime?
No, I don't think so. He said, the second segment where he said that even you are not aware of the full story because all of us are reliant on the secondary sources, right? So he said that if the trust is to go, I'm going to trust the Gen Z because they are honest generation. This is absolutely true. He's talking about the civilizational awakening of the Gen Z.
Okay.
He's not sticking to any ideological party.
Vivek Srivastava, he's talking about the civilizational awakening of the Gen Z and not any other aspect, and it's not in contravention of what the government has said so far, says Siddharth Yadav. Your
He's
response to
scared.
these 2 points.
सर, मोहन भागवत जी आज डरे हुए हैं। जिस दिन से राहुल गांधी खड़े हो गए, and he took those 4 kids, those 4 girls, made them stand, got the press over there and said, सर बताओ तुम्हारे साथ क्या हुआ था, तब से डरे हुए हैं। And when I asked the question, they told me, no. उनकी जो मीटिंग्स हैं वो 1 साल की पहले ही डिसाइड हो जाती है। ये डरे हुए हैं। It has slipped out of their hands. 2029, Madhav, in the elections, if you go by the data and you study it out, Gen Z is going to be the major factor who will decide sarkar kiski hogi. And by the regressive thought process, by their so-called civilizational, the word she used, or a purani 5000 saal wali sanskriti, a girl, if she smokes, she is characterless. If a man smokes, it's okay.
Who has said this?
No. It's the song which says.
Who are you quoting? No, let's be specific.
Yeah.
Because they will start making sweeping statements about you.
It is not sweeping statements. So it is the Sanskriti which they talk of.
Who's Sanskriti? Quote someone. No, don't talk in generics.
No,
give a quotation which is specific. Either you quote somebody or give an example.
I quote Mr. Mohan Bhagwat. Today, the package you showed, he talked of LGBT rights, which is not the official line of Sangh. Which is not the official line of
Sangh.
No.
What is the official life
He's
of
the
or
song.
not?
He sets the line, right?
No.
Decide the
This
official
never
line of
was.
Sangh.
What
They
Mohan
never.
ji is saying is
They
not
always,
official,
in the
what he is
name of
saying is
Sanskriti, tried to suppress it out. I want Mr. Siddharth Yadav to endorse on the BJP side
No,
that the party endorses LGBTQ.
No, Vivek,
Say yes.
Vivek, one second. Let's go
Yes.
one by one. After the judgment that came out, when
Yeah.
it came to this rise from the Supreme Court, the RSS shifted its position. To that extent, you are perhaps right.
Yes.
And they came out to say that
Exactly.
there should be no exploitation, there should be no harassment of people
Yes.
on ground of their orientation. That is a position that they have taken. Perhaps Mr. Mohan Bhagwat has gone a step ahead and
Yes.
today said
Yes.
companionship.
But that was not
isn't that to be welcomed?
No,
if
yes,
he's
of
going
course,
ahead
of
and
course.
acknowledging the rights.
I welcome whatever he has said. But he is saying it not because of any creative. He is scared. He feels the Gen Z are slipping out of my hands.
Okay.
And the RSS is regressive.
Respond to
and
that.
they have lost touch.
He feels that Gen
And they
Z
have
is
lost
slipping out of
touch.
hands. That's why he's made that comment. Respond to him.
Madhav, fortunately in this country, nobody cares what Vivek Srivastava feels. So
That's
if-
not-
if
no,
he
no
feels-
personal comments.
No,
So he-
okay, I'll not speak
I'm
for him.
requesting everyone
He's
not
a
to make
great friend
personal
of mine.
comments and not to make unfounded
He's a
comments.
great
Yeah.
friend of mine. I'm not speaking for him. I'm speaking for the communists in this country. What they feel, they used to feel a lot in Northeast, swiped out. They used to feel a lot in Bengal, nowhere to be seen. They used to feel a lot in Kerala, nowhere to be, nowhere. It's only Vivek Srivastava standing alone in your TV show. And then he tells you what I feel and what is the real feeling of the Sangh. So when we are speaking of an organization like Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, the Param Pujya Sarsang Chalak ji saying something, that's the official stand. You will not decide what is the official stand.
But the stand and the timings.
the official stand
The
has been
stand and the
always
timings.
this.
I
Has been
question the
always this.
timings.
I challenge
ये
you.
राहुल गांधी को रिएक्शन है
Vivek
जब
ji,
राहुल
Vivek
गांधी
ji,
4 लड़के
you don't have to
करके
be
खड़े
reacting so much.
हुए और ये 4 लड़के
Vivek, is this a reaction to Rahul Gandhi
course.
or is it a reaction to CJP?
It's all, we are all one.
All are one.
Everybody is
But Rahul
supporting
never
Gen
went to the
Z.
CJP protest.
सर
Rahul never
मेरी बात सुनिए
one second.
मेरी
Let
बात
him
सुनिए
answer.
जेन जी के कुछ इश्यूज हैं उनको कांग्रेस में राहुल गांधी समर्थन दे रहे हैं लेफ्ट दे रहा है आयसा धरने पे बैठा था अनशन पे
तो
एवरीबॉडी
जंतर मंतर क्यों नहीं गए?
ये जेन जी के साथ नहीं थे
जंतर मंतर क्यों नहीं गए?
मोहन भागवत
जंतर मंतर क्यों नहीं गए?
पवन खेड़ा did go there.
हाँ,
He
पवन
did get
खेड़ा
the
saw
support.
राहुल गांधी.
अब देखिए
Akhilesh
अब
Yadav
आप-
went there. Your left leaders went there.
Rahul,
Mr.
एक मिनट,
Kejriwal,
Rahul
one
Gandhi-
second, please, one
Sir,
second.
sir,
Why,
I'll
please
answer a
wait,
question.
please wait.
I'll answer a question.
Sonam Wangchuk on record
Yes.
said we are waiting for Rahul Gandhi.
Yes, but we were not very. Hold on. We were a little apprehensive of Sonam Wangchuk, including the left. Number one, because he had. Just hold on. Let me speak. It is if Rahul Gandhi was not a supporter of this protest at Jantar Mantar, वो 5 लड़कियां 4 लड़कियां लड़के जिनको खड़े होकर के बोला अपनी आप बीती प्रेस के सामने सुनाओ राहुल गांधी ना करते उन्होंने किया
There were others also. There were others also.
उन्होंने किया
Where
और
are the
सुनिए
rest of the protesters?
अजय भवन में
Where are the rest of the
10 seconds, 10
protesters?
seconds, 10 seconds, 10
You can't
seconds.
be hijacking this
Only
protest.
10 seconds.
ये तरीका मैं बोल रहा था उसके बीच में
Okay,
आप बोलने लग
सिद्धार्थ
गए।
यादव,
अगर यहाँ गेट पे आधार कार्ड चेक हुआ था he wouldn't have been here. ये जेनजी की डिबेट है विवेक जी सबसे ज्यादा बोल रहे हैं ये क्या बात हुई?
एक सेकंड,
अरे यंग लोगों को सुन लो यार सुन लीजिए
It's
आप कहाँ
okay,
से young हैं?
it's okay, it's
अगर
okay.
आप भी young हैं तो फिर
Respond to him.
राहुल भी यंग है Madhav, my simple question is, we are debating the young generation of this country, educational reforms in this country. उस पे क्या बात हुई अभी? आपको बात करनी है संघ पर, आपको बात करनी है कौन कहां पहुंचे. राहुल गांधी डिडंट गो टू जंतर मंतर, उसका भी जवाब कम्युनिस्ट देंगे और क्या जवाब देंगे वो भी हम सुन रहे हैं. My simple question is, 40 minutes have gone into your debate. Nobody has uttered a word of Jharkhand. Punjab, those are not those students.
It's on Gen Z. Debate is on Gen Z.
कर्नाटका कोई बात नहीं करेगा अभी.
निशांत can answer that question.
As soon as I have uttered Jharkhand and Punjab, किसका तेज दर्द हुआ? वो स्टूडेंट्स नहीं है. आप उनकी बात मत
I think it's a fair question.
12 days झारखंड में लोग धूप में बारिश में बैठे हुए हैं.
14
You don't dare to speak a word and then you're standing here.
40. Nishan, one second. Nishan, listen to my question. Last night Rahul Gandhi reached out. It was on, I think, Thursday night that he reached out to the students as far as Jharkhand protest is concerned. Why was Rahul Gandhi not there in Ranchi? If he feels, one second, no, not like this. Not like this. I'm not going to allow this. Nishant, why did Rahul Gandhi take 13 days to speak to those students? Why was he not on ground with those students in Ranchi when it's his own government there in Jharkhand along with JMM?
Okay, Madhavji, first of all, BJP is not able to answer for 1 month when 1 lakh students were asking Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah or Education Minister 4 questions. That 152 paper leaks has been done. There is no answer. There is no amendment in the bill till today. They asked the second question. The NTA is formed by BJP. The members appointed are by the BJP. Why still the paper leaks are happening? What they did at the end, they had to lathi charge. There were girls in the press conference which said, हमें कील लगी हुई लाठी हमारे body parts पर लगी है. The AK-47 was charged. Now from 3 weeks, where is the Amit Shah? Where is Amit Shah, the Home Minister? Either he allowed the police to charge the lathi. He is culpable, and if he is not allowed, he is incompetent. Then he needs to come. I will show this again. It's been 20 days. He is not coming. Now, last point. Now, last thing. Yesterday,
okay, she wants to respond to you. One second.
Yesterday, Mohan Bhagwat.
Nothing doing. कोई students के लिए कोई बात नहीं.
uploaded a video.
Political propaganda.
He uploaded the video that
Same old political rhetoric.
One second. We are going. I'm 1 second. Enough. Now, the point is this. We are discussing Gen Z. We are discussing the attempts to connect to Gen Z. Let's please stick to that topic and let's not do political point scoring. One second. I want Mitra Vinda to respond to you. The political accountability is not there as far as Gen Z, as far as the kind of protests have happened, and that's what we are doing. I'm not going to come back to this issue, but quickly respond to what Nishan just said. Mitra Vinda.
See, I'm not here as a spokesperson of any particular political party, but how is there no accountability? Was not CBI probe launched? Wasn't the exam immediately cancelled? Wasn't the NEET done? Wasn't the results released immediately? How is that not accountability if he's going to interject? That is what the Congress wants. They do not want the young people to speak.
This is not correct.
They keep making it political.
This is not correct. Weber has not even spoken. Allow Weber. 1 second. No. You can't do this. No, allow one more. Let her complete. No, you can't jump in. No, everyone can't jump in all the time. Complete your point. 30 seconds and then I'm coming to Weber.
He cannot be hijacking my point. Congress only knows this. They know how to hijack a protest that is happening. That is what Rahul Gandhi has done. What we are here for is to talk about educational reforms. We are here to talk about the Gen Z. We are not here to justify
Weber, please. Weber to answer that. Weber.
Yes. Thank you, Madhav, for coming to me. So it's now like RSS is coming to the rescue of BJP, but the fact is...
You're calling me RSS and yourself BJP.
Whole nation...
I thought you're Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson.
I think the fact is the whole... No, I'm not talking about... I'm talking about the Bhagwat ji. But the fact is the whole nation needs to be rescued from the ideology and from the governance of BJP and RSS. Now, coming to the fact which you have spoken all enough. Let me put before on record and all the documented evidence. Padhi likhi party se all the documented evidence I will put before you. Straight from the light. On the first day of the protest, this is the BJP leader Rajesh Yadav, which has called Sonam Wangchuk Chinese agent. This is a senior leader in Uttar Pradesh. Now post that, after you have mentioned is like Atul Limbe ji, Joint General Secretary of RSS. This is the exact verbatim he has told anti-national and not pointing to CJP, specifically to the youth who are sitting over Jantar Mantar. This is the statement of the RSS leader Indresh ji. He has talked that foreign forces are behind CJP and foreign funding aa rahi hai, ye aa rahi hai, wo aa rahi hai. And इसीलिए कहते हैं ना अनपढ़ इतने लोग हैं ये लोग. The same Ministry of External Affairs said there is no iota of evidence there is any foreign backing or something like that. So coming on to the fact, like the point is BJP has always tried to do this. They have on the day one they had discredited the movement for the point's sake. There is a two leaders specifically on the day of dialogue between BJP and CJP. The Yogesh Chandolia BJP MP said they are bhediyas. Madan Rathod, BJP MP, they have said bhade ke tattu. These are the kind of language and they have the audacity and the morality to talk about the Gen Zs. All this is an eyewash from the day one. BJP is ridiculed with all the kind of the protest which is happening and it's all organic.
Okay, Siddharth is answering your question.
10 seconds. And you have seen like the difference and the dilemma between BJP and RSS in the Mr. Bhagwat and Modi ji and now in the panel as well. Because the BJP spokesperson has told there is a backing, there is a political ideology. RSS member has said.
You've asked specific questions of BJP, now they have to respond. Media, all sorts of names have been called.
I'm happy that the Aam Aadmi Party only announced that they are from an educated party and he put forth some documents. अगर इनने शराब वाली पार्टी बोल करके बोतल रख दी होती तो ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम होती.
फेक नहीं है बीजेपी की तरफ, फेक पार्टी नहीं है, all documented evidence.
He's responding to Poster
आप पहली बार हैं
This
क्या?
is not a political rally.
I have-
Let's go one by one.
I have-
Please, please,
I have
please.
information.
No, one second.
I have in front of me,
Could you
Madhav,
respond?
a statement from a very senior Punjab police officer, which came out day before yesterday, who said that they have arrested, apprehended few ISI agents who were funded by ISI, who went to Jantar Mantar protest, who had planned for bombs. This is coming from Punjab police. The same police which is माधव आप एक काम करिए, इनको बुलवा लीजिए. मैं एक पॉइंट पूरा कर रहा हूं, आप सुन तो लीजिए भैया. आपकी पुलिस अनाउंस करके बोल रही है कि हम लोग कुछ लोगों को पकड़ा जिनका पाकिस्तान कनेक्शन था, तो जंतर मंतर भी जाकर के आए. एंड यू वुड स्टैंड हियर एंड से एवरीबडी इन सीजेपी इज जेन जी, ऑल जेन जी इज सीजेपी, एवरीबडी इन जंतर मंतर वाज नो प्रॉब्लम. आई आस्क यू माधव, अगर किसी प्रोटेस्ट में नारा लग रहा है कि पार्लियामेंट की कब्र खुदेगी, मोदी की कब्र खुदेगी, इज दैट जेन जी? दे आर यंग पैनलिस्ट हियर. मैं गारंटी देके बोलता हूं, आलोक है, मित्रविंदा है, कोई भी है, नोबडी, कोई कैमरा के सामने जाकर के वैसे गालियां नहीं दे सकता जैसे हमने वीडियोस में देखा. Is that Gen Z?
Gali is a separate debate in itself. Nobody can say Galis are right. Once again, nobody can justify the Galis. But I want to ask Vaibhav Srivastava a very simple question. You said हम पढ़ी लिखी party है. You said that all these Galis have been given to Mr. Wangchuk. Mr. Kejriwal said that Wangchuk should be the Education Minister of India. Why don't you make him the Education Minister of Punjab? He's an educated man.
The education minister working perfectly fine.
He's working perfectly fine.
I'm telling one fact. I'm telling Madhavji. Let me. If this is the kind of thing, I'll also poke in the nose between of you. Our education minister. I'm telling you on record.
Answer the question.
I'm answering to you. Our education minister, Harjot Ji Bans, and all the cumulative cabinet. We have, till now, we have 68,000 government jobs we have delivered without even a single case. More than 38 papers have been done in Punjab. Not a single paper leak had happened till now. Sorry?
How many papers were withheld?
No any paper has been withheld. No, I have the evidence. I am talking all with the evidence which I am having. सारे evidence के बिना काम ही नहीं करते. एक भी पेपर दिखा दो. I challenge BJP. Tell me a single paper. I challenge BJP. Give me a single paper which is leaked.
Calm down. So there are paper leaks. One second. It is not only. One second. Just a second, please. I think we have debated the issue of multiple paper leaks across states, and the same yardstick has to be applied. I'd like you, ma'am, to also respond to the simple question that is being raised over here. They are saying that there are double standards when it comes to, the government, when it comes to the implementation, particularly, of course, when it comes to the outreach. The larger message over here is also that this is political, because all political parties ultimately want to reach out to Gen Z because they will be the biggest demographic in the next Lok Sabha election, and that's a fact.
So, no, it is definitely, if you see that from a political, the movement was, it led to a political mobilization, but it was not politically manufactured. This is why he's trying to do that outreach. And Sangh as an ideology is also evolving. If you see, Bhagwat ji had did one talk on motherhood 2 weeks back, right? So now he's doing that connect with the Gen Z also. Because they are looking for that socialization of the Gen Z from the societal level also. And they are doing that outreach. If you want to say that they're doing that outreach for the politics, I do not agree with that, especially when it comes to RSS. It is more than an evolutionary step that they have taken to inculcate the values of our nation, to have a dialogue in a constructive way, and to issue and to address the issues which has been happening and plaguing the country.
I want Vaibhav Srivastava, and while these pictures of Punjab are there on our screen, I also want the shots outside the Kerala Assembly to be quickly rounded up by our production team. Is this how peaceful protesters are treated in Punjab? Because these are people, I believe they're teachers asking for their salary. Okay. If you have a problem with Jantar Mantar, is this correct? Is this correct action on part of police there in Punjab?
They are the teachers who are protesting? I challenge you, this is the BJP persons.
These are BJP protesters?
Yes.
BJP protesters?
Yes. They are the people from the organization of the BJP.
So they are BJP, so they deserve to be lathi charged.
I authenticated.
So because they are BJP, they deserve to be lathi charged.
Counter me that they are not.
No, so they deserve to be lathi charged if they are BJP. Is that what you're saying?
We are not saying that.
You said that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
you just said that these are not protesters, these are BJP.
I'm not saying that.
How they should be treated?
There is a process of dialogue and all this is happening. happening in Punjab.
Is it?
Not
This is dialogue?
Yes,
How is this dialogue?
आप ये कुछ भी वीडियो चला दे, मैं
कुछ भी वीडियो, July 15, 2026, खन्ना पंजाब. Please deny this.
ये वीडियो बीजेपी वाले बाहर रकस करा रहे थे.
No, was this not from Khanna in Punjab on the 15th of July? Please answer the question.
बीजेपी organization.
Are you saying this video is not authentic?
वो बीजेपी.
Are you saying video is not authentic? Are you saying video is not authentic?
I'm saying that these are authentic video, but these are the people of BJP who are sitting on a road, just blocking the road and creating a ruckus. These are the BJP guys.
Only BJP people.
Yes, I'm saying that these are the.
Come on, these are teachers asking for their salaries, sir. Have some shame. You also no, I'm not giving a clean sheet. One second. We're a channel that has put out the bullet, the use as far as pellet guns is concerned. We've covered that extensively. So if use of force in Delhi is wrong, use of force in Khanna is also wrong. And you as a political party spokesperson cannot put a spin on it. You cannot justify use of force in this manner on protesters anywhere across the country. At least have the same moral standard for police in Delhi and in your own police. Your own violations, do not try and whitewash them. And let me bring out the Kerala Assembly for visuals also. And let me ask Mr. Vivek Srivastava. One second.
Allowed to speak over.
You have spoken a lot. You have denied them.
I'm saying that.
You are attributing political motives to these protesters.
Should be the last resort.
So was it their first resort?
What central government has done?
Was it their first resort?
Being filed. This is the last resort. In the prime of society, there is no any kind of ruckus. I was there on the 20th protest. I was there in the 20th protest. Not a single disturbance is there by the youth over there. They have resorted to lathi charge, pellet guns. This was Punjab has done.
They did not break barricades.
This is the last resort which
protesters did not break barricades in Delhi.
Sorry?
They did not jump over barricades in Delhi. Protesters. Their own party leaders were seen jumping over barricades. By the way. Sanjay Singh and others.
He's not jumping over there.
No,
he's trying to go because
he's crawling over the barricade.
Only passage has been stopped. This is blocked. The passage is blocked. He is trying to confront the people. How can you block the passage?
Sir, the police has every right. The police has every right to maintain law and order. Okay, respond.
You have covered the footage so far.
ITI teachers in Punjab for more than 3 days are subject to brutal lathi charge, but we have a different yardstick in Punjab. Very convenient. What a politics of convenience. Very different yardstick in Punjab, very different yardstick in Karnataka, very different yardstick in Jharkhand. Everywhere it is different. So students and teachers in Punjab are not students. They are not students. Students in Delhi are probably better of students.
No, but
if this is your standard,
and I'll bring up those pictures.
This is most shameful.
I'll bring up the pictures. One second. The left parties were water cannoned in Kerala. One second, Vaibhav. A question for Vivek. Left parties who were protesting there outside the Kerala Assembly, there was water cannon used over there.
Yes.
So by this yardstick, you should be protesting against Congress party also because they are in power there.
आप सुनिए सर मेरी बात को. Going to the parliament has been a tradition in this nation. Vajpayee ji, when the petrol prices were too high, let me speak for 20 seconds. I am speaking about Atal Bihari Vajpayee. अरे वाजपेयी जी के लिए तो बोल लूं, वाजपेयी जी के लिए तो बोल लूं, या उनसे भी अब नफरत हो गई है.
Let Vivek speak. Yeah.
So Vajpayee ji, when the petroleum prices in this country were a little high, he felt बैलगाड़ियां लेकर के as a symbol of protest कि अब तो हमारे पास पेट्रोल नहीं रहेगा, he marched to the parliament, ज्ञापन दिया, चले आए. हम लेफ्ट से हैं, हम रेगुलर पार्लियामेंट जाते रहे हैं. We go there, we give a gyapon and we come back.
Yeah.
I mean, see, you can show Punjab, you can show Kerala, you can show XYZ. Gen Z तो गया भैया भाजपा के हाथ से.
नहीं,
तुम्हारी सच्चाई दिख गई है. ये वाटर बाउटी खोलने वाली नहीं है.
So 2029 में बन रही है सरकार.
सुनिए सर,
आपकी पार्टी आ रही है सरकार में 2029 में.
ये नीता अंबानी कल्चरल सेंटर में बैठ करके भगवाधारी बच्चों को इकट्ठा करके जितना मर्जी भाषण दे दे मोहन भागवत. जो सच्चाई है ना, जो सच्चाई है, क्या संग है भारतीय संस्कृति और भारतीय संस्कृति में आप
भगवाधारी बच्चे, why is he being degrading?
Of course. They belong to a particular ideology. I'm not degrading.
I am the youngest voice on this panel.
They belong to a particular ideology.
How is this a Gen Z debate? How are we talking about education?
Okay. Let's.
One thing
he is degrading. They are invalidating students protesting in Punjab, Kerala, Jharkhand. Why? Because
Vivek
they have to
Srivastava,
be
may I ask you a question?
of
How many bullets were fired in
party.
Singur? Can you tell us? Who fired the bullets there?
No. I mean, how is it related to this?
Because of protest. You crack down on protest by the state is a feature. Law and order is to be maintained by the state or not?
Of course,
Whose
yes.
job is it? So in Bengal it's okay when the left is in power. It's not okay in other places.
It is not okay in Jantar Mantar क्योंकि वहाँ पे नकली पुलिस थी, सिविल में थी.
It's okay on farmers.
बिल्ले नहीं थे.
On farmers,
there was no billa on the RF.
Farmers of Singur, it's okay.
Was it a police?
Farmers of Singur, it is all right. It is okay. It becomes okay because the party was in power.
The police was it police?
1970.
Are you एक मिनट क्या यहाँ खड़े होकर के
Answer on Singur.
No, forget about Singur.
Why should you forget?
Because this is not Singur.
Is it a fake?
This is not Singur.
Is it a
This
fake
was not Singur.
Yeah,
And
that's the point.
There was no fake police. There was no fake police in Singur.
You expect a yardstick of them? At least follow that. Morally, you don't have any high ground there. Because your government has done exactly the same thing. That's a simple point.
बिल्कुल नहीं किया सर. आप जितना मर्जी आवाज दबाने की कोशिश करिए.
कोई आवाज नहीं दबा रहे. आप इनकी आवाज दबा रहे.
पैलेट गन्स चला रहे.
आप इनकी आवाज दबा रहे.
पुलिस ने
आप इनकी आवाज दबा रहे. Let's quickly now analyze why this is so important. Let's bring the next set of graphics as well. Let's quickly bring in fact, if we can move on, if we can request the production team to look at what really has been happening, not just the political fight, but also the importance of Gen Z as a category. The Prime Minister, of course, has come out to say in terms of the entire messaging has changed. On social media, the entire tone, tenor of all political leaders has changed. Adopting a softer, reconciliatory tone. On the other hand, we're seeing RG launch his Instagram, Ask Me Anything, or AMA. We're seeing how on side of the government and the Prime Minister collaborating directly with youth influencers. On the other side, embracing Gen Z memes, trends, etc. that's happening. We're also seeing a shift towards short-form video reels. On the other hand, direct student protest clips that have been amplified. On this side, highlighting policy reforms for students. On the other side, unfiltered, casual Q&A session-style videos as well. Mobilizing minister-led digital campaign push. On the other side, aggressive social media policy criticism that we're seeing coming in from this side as well. But why is this so important? Clearly, the digital and the ground campaign divide is very important, because on the digital, you look at an exponential reach in seconds. In terms of the physical campaign, operates at a slower, localized pace. Let's look at the other differences. It builds parasocial intimacy via reels, DMs, etc. In terms of physical campaign, builds collective emotion via rallies. Let's also look at what else we are looking at in terms of differences. Highly cost-effective per impression, more resource-heavy, needs multiple clearances. Now, these are some of the differences, including high-tech digital engagement, votes not assured, physical, of course, turns passive sympathy into electoral energy. Let's also bring in the next set of graphics that we have as far as the importance, as far as Gen Z itself is concerned. Not these, but let's bring in the importance of the categories itself, why it matters. We're looking at the age group of 18 to 32 years. Now, this demographic is going to be very important because the population here in India is 37 to 40 crores. We're also looking at the share of Indian population. And mind you, this 25.1% share in the next Lok Sabha election is going to be very, very decisive, because all other categories, whether we're talking about millennials, Gen X, or others, are going to be far yes. So yes, these are the number of voters in 2029. 380 million Gen Z voters, or 38 crores. 1 in 4 eligible voters will therefore be Gen Z. And it becomes extremely important, 25% of the Indian electorate, as we've been discussing as well, the largest vote bank cohort in 2029. Ultimately, does it boil down to just this? You know, and this is the question that we are asking. And Nishant Anand, come down to this. Ultimately, all political parties, including yours, are just appealing to this for votes, because you want to attract this segment, you don't want to alienate them.
Madhav, see, after what happened in this protest, Congress party clearly been saying from the last 8 years that the paper leak system should be fixed. I can show here the day and the date where Rahul Gandhi ji clearly did a program or a press conference starting from March 2018. He warned about the paper leaks till 2026. I can give you the events. So the issue is, why did the Prime Minister Modi, we know that he is the most educated Prime Minister that India has today. That is the reason we say they have an anti-student mindset. This is the 5th education minister which has come in last 12 years. There is no stoppage in paper leaks. They have constituted NTA, done several changes, but there is nothing has been done. Now, see,
that's
what Rahul Gandhi ji is saying.
That means you're forming the next government in 2020.
See, we are making
with all this mobilization.
See, we are raising the issues of the students. We are with the students who has been beaten by BJP. Till today, they have the audacity and arrogance.
You're again evading my question. Let me ask you another pointed question. In September 2025 is when Rahul Gandhi invoked Gen Z for the first time. How was he invoking Gen Z? Because the same month we saw what happened in Nepal. So is this some kind of political strategy that Mr. Gandhi has been following?
When Congress and Rahul Gandhi ji saw the youth and the Gen Z are crying and suiciding, as I said, 93 people have done suicide in the last 10 years. 22 people suicide in 2 months back, but there is no accountability. What happened yesterday when Mohan Bhagwat ji did this program? A student asked on a channel that this is the 3rd program of Mohan Bhagwat. 2016, 2020 and 2026. They said, we do not want your lectures, we want accountability.
Okay.
What have you done in the last 12 years?
Siddharth, there's a number of suicides have happened. The government has not held anybody accountable, and that's why this protest was necessary. The government was not seen as being sensitive enough to the Gen Z concerns, and that's why this has exploded on social media and the protests have found resonance on ground. Respond to Nishant.
Madhav, I think one thing that the current government is very committed to is resolving the real issues of the young people. We understand that the educational setup, the employment setup of the country requires overhauling. We are facing, a very large young population in this country which is looking for opportunities and right education. We have been working for that from day one. From day one, be it Pradhan Mantri's Pariksha Per Charcha, introducing a new NEP, establishing PM Shri schools, increasing the budget of education from 8,000 crores when we came in to more than 1 lakh crore now, increasing the number of IITs, IIMs, NITs, triple ITs, all of that are there to establish that the work is in a direction where the real problems can be solved.
NEET was bungled up. NEET was heavily bungled up.
No,
I'm asking him the question. NEET was bungled up. You have to admit that.
NEET is what?
NEET was completely bungled up. There were students committing suicide.
Madhav,
the re-NEET is not the answer.
Madhav, who would deny? Who would deny? Paper leaks in our country has been a problem for decades. It is us who is addressing that. Is the dispensation who would address a decades-old problem going to be the problem or going to be the solution?
In 3 years, 2 times, such a big exam, a paper leak and being cancelled, this is a huge cause of concern.
Madhav,
yes, there is some corrective action that is being taken.
But Madhav, I did not complete my... Madhav, I did not complete my point.
Yeah, my point. One second.
Madhav, I did not complete my point.
My simple point is, a lot more will have to be done. 1 second, please. 1 second, please. A lot more will have to be done. Allow me to ask the questions. Yes.
I'll just take 10 seconds. So, Madhav, this is beyond political rhetoric. And this is beyond political point scoring. All of us, across political lines and political ideologies, have to come together to solve the real issues. Unfortunately, for the opposition today, it's just political brownie points that they have to score.
Accountability is of the government. One second. When crisis hits, then you can't say we all have to come together. Then the dialogue has to be there beforehand.
Madhav, they should come from day one.
Of course.
Who was stopping them?
But who has to come?
Madhav,
Who has not come?
Madhav, I'm proving that with... अरे भैया, आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम है लगातार बोलने का? अरे आपको लगातार क्या प्रॉब्लम है? Madhav, should I take down?
Let him complete. One second. Let him complete.
Should I take down a list of paper leaks in Congress government?
That's why you came in the power.
Okay, let him.
When Priyanka Gandhi goes and says in Rajasthan कि हमारी सरकार में बहुत पेपर लीक होते हैं. अब आप क्यों भाग गए? अब क्यों डरने लग गए? मैं कांग्रेस के पेपर लीक की बात करूंगा.
Completely out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, completely out of time. I'd like to thank all our panelists, Dr. Aditi Narayani Paswan, Siddharth Yadav, Mitravinda Karanwal, Dr. Nishant Anand, Vaibhav Srivastav, Vivek Srivastav and Alok Kataria. Thanks so much for joining us on this edition of the National Debate.